Gentlemen, thank you, Mr. President. I haven't had this much fun in 3 years and 2 weeks from this very day. I guess a lot of stuff did become clear to me, and I'd like to actually start with the history. This is going to be the how we got here, year 3. We went ahead and we had a subcommittee based on model language. Boy, I know people hate model language. The thing is, there are some people who actually work year-round, year after year, to develop the information and the data, the information, and the policy to see how they can do things. Both sides do it. Some people, you've got folks who want to regulate more people and they come up with model legislation. You got folks who want to protect taxpayers and they come up with model legislation. Well, this came from Foundation for Government Accountability way years back. We were running it. I agreed to run it. In fact, it was my project. I wanted to see what it did. The best way to do that, in my mind, is a subcommittee. So we had a subcommittee. You ended up with 60 folks in there. Senator Hogue, I'd like to clarify something, and it's not walking a statement back. It's actually doubling down. When I said that it was about money, and there are people who just say, I don't care, I just want more money in the industry that they serve in, and they serve in the welfare industry. It's just social justice warriors who don't care about how much money comes in. They want more. So I'll double down that a lot of the people around the wall are left-wing social justice warriors. That is simply a fact, and I've heard them because they've come up to me and they've said so. I mean, that's just the way it is. You've got some business interests in there that want to make sure money's in the industry, but it's about money. Who gets it, where it comes from. I mean, that's all fine. I don't mind that. So we had a meeting, and I went around and listened, and just so you know that I was listening, I got compliments that you let everybody speak, you heard it. I took a lot of notes. We started developing the bill. And then a gentleman who represented LexisNexis said something that I guess I didn't, that we do this. This is something that's in our bailiwick. This is actually a idea. I didn't realize that. I mean, that's why I ran the subcommittee. It was just to see what the bill was about, and all of a sudden I find out. 3 years later, here we are, because that product really exists. Not only does that product really exist, that product is so well offered, so well thought out, so efficient, so inexpensive for the population that you can handle, that I just can't believe it's not being used everywhere. I mean, it was quite a process. What I learned in that process is that what we're trying to move to is a prevention, where you actually catch people before you pay them. Maybe you pay them 1 month if they get in, and that's fine if they're in, but 1 month, as opposed to months of payments that you try to claw back. I actually think it's less humane to try to claw back money that has probably been already spent and then tell them that we need that money back. And that is what happens. There is a procedure. If there's an overpayment, you reduce future benefits on a payment plan to try to get it back. If it's an underpayment, the recipient is made whole. I mean, so those are established. So I'm having a hard time seeing, and then finally it dawned on me as I was sitting here listening, because we're sitting here in 2020, which is an election year, and I just sat here for hours enjoying the conversation, because I really do kind of get into this stuff, and I really do like this. You don't want limits on anybody. You don't want limits on health care. I mean, your number one presidential candidate right now is an avowed socialist. I get that. The number one issue that's being talked about in the presidential race is Medicaid, Medicare for all. That's why you're doing the bait and switch, talking about poor people in the system who aren't going to lose a thing, but you don't want to talk. I mean, you say you're against fraud, but really you're not against fraud. You want to give it to them anyway, Medicare for all.
Point of order has been called. Senator Walz, please state your point.
Point of order, Will Nye. Sorry.
Please approach the well.